You have just embarked on a great journey into the mind of our group. Our collective knowledge has taken the shape of a room. In this room, there are 9 portraits. In the portraits, you see the struggles of 2 men and a group of students. What they hope to do in this room is describe art in the sense of lyrical, epical, and dramatic forms.
Though the 3 forms of art are presented to the reader by Stephen, they were first conceptualized by the author James Joyce. For that reason, we must look at Joyce's life in order to understand Stephen's. The lyrical form of art is an artistic experience including emotions, thoughts, and ideas felt within oneself. The artist cannot fully recognize this emotion, but he knows that it is significant in some way. Our best simile for this concept is a simple ball. The ball is an instant of emotion in the artist. The lyrical interpretation is like a near invisible shroud or cloak that covers this ball. In this way, the lyrical form is incompletely expressed by the artist. Joyce expressed the lyrical form by transferring his life and experiences into the book through the character of Stephen Daedalus through stream of consciousness.
The epical form of art takes the feelings expressed in lyrical and attempts to convey them to those surrounding the artist. Joyce was recognized as one of the greatest writers of the 20th century, and due to his reputation, he gained access to the opinions of other famous literary contemporaries. T.S. Eliot, Ezra Pound, and William Butler Yeats were artists that Joyce regularly discussed ideas with, and this discussion is a prime example of the epical form.
The dramatic form of art is expressed when the artist is removed from his work. If the lyrical form is the impassioned cry of the artist, then the dramatic form is the impersonalized narrative. By impersonalizing the art, it becomes a separate entity in itself, and the artist gives it life. Joyce's publication of A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man is an example of the dramatic form of art. He is stepping aside and allowing the audience to view his work.
As a child, Stephen often kept his thoughts to himself. He saw the world in a different way than other children, and had different reactions, thoughts, and emotions towards everyday life experiences. Stephen's childhood could be considered a perfect example of the lyrical sense of art. For example, he's pondering God and the universe, and these thoughts make his head feel big, and he feels overwhelmed with this. I think that in this sense we see how, as a child, Stephen senses large emotions and feels big thoughts and sees how maybe insignificant he is in this world, but through that insignificance he feels something which maybe is significance itself.
As Stephen grows, he gets more comfortable sharing his ideas with other people. He talks to Cranley and Lynch about things that he thinks are weird about the world or different. He attempts to define words he doesn't understand and put meaning to concepts that are a little bit difficult for some people. His first experience with the epical form of art is really when he turns in his paper. He's rebuked for being a heretic because he puts something questioning about God in his paper, so from that point out he's a little timid about ever doing it again. However, when he gets older, his discussion with Lynch at the end of the novel is the perfect example of epical art. He's bouncing his ideas off a friend to make sure that they are refined enough to be presented to the general public.
Stephen's maturation and growth throughout life and throughout the novel finally peaks at the story's conclusion. While Stephen once held his ideas to himself, he learned to share his beliefs and interpretations with others. Stephen's life has not yet reached the dramatic form of art, but this really becomes his goal as he goes out into the world.
We see examples of the lyrical form every day in class. Someone gets an idea and his or her hand shoots up in that instant the idea is conceived. They are called on and suddenly they find that they have no way to explain what they wanted to say. The moment of instant could not be properly explained to those around them. It's lyrical. Think about how many times you hear, "I don't know how to explain it," in class.
When we are finally able to formulate our thoughts in such a way that we are able to convey them to others, our lives take the epical form. Almost every day we share our ideas with our peers to provoke their thoughts and to find out their opinions. In English class, people are able to share their opinions and ideas with others during discussion time. These discussions stimulate people's minds in different ways and allow us to see our own lives in new manners.
Nowadays, it's easier for us to express the dramatic form of art. We can upload videos on YouTube or write a note on Facebook. In class, the dramatic form is seen when someone brings up like a good point, and that evolves into maybe a later discussion that can carry on for days, possibly, who knows, outside of the classroom. And that way, the dramatic form is seen.
What you have just seen is the room of our minds. And what you have just experienced is the dramatic form of art. We are the artist, and you the audience.